Through my videos, I hope to encourage as many people as possible to take advantage of the ability to work remotely from Mexico for US companies. But what if you become so enamored with life south of the border that you decide to become a permanent citizen? Well, in this video, I'll go over the best ways you can earn legal Mexican citizenship and all the benefits that come along with it. Let's get started. But before we dive into the details, make sure to hit that subscribe button below and click on the notification bell to stay updated with all content related to working remotely in Mexico. Don't miss out on any of our upcoming adventures. We're a community of wanderers, so let's stay connected. Why move to Mexico? Though I mainly focus on the benefits of working from Mexico, it's important to note that many Americans are drawn to the idea of becoming Mexican citizens. And with most major decisions, this aspiration is fueled by a variety of factors. Firstly, Mexico offers a significantly lower cost of living. This makes it possible to enjoy a higher standard of living for less, or to live as you do in the United States while saving vast amounts of income for your future. Neither approach is wrong, of course, but given the surging cost of living in the United States, simply having the option to save is often enough for the average person. Proximity to the United States is another compelling reason to move to Mexico. After all, many people are drawn to the idea of living somewhere other than the US, but are hesitant to leave their friends and family behind. Mexico keeps you within reach of your close relations, making it easier to maintain those vital connections. Of course, anyone who's spent time with my channel knows that the rise of remote work opportunities has made Mexico an attractive destination for American expatriates looking to save money. As I've said before, Mexico's pleasant weather and rich cultural traditions only add to the appeal, making it a top choice for those seeking a lifestyle change. The benefits of being a Mexican citizen. Putting the reasons aside for a minute, I want to talk about all the ways becoming a Mexican citizen can benefit you. Though it's important to note that Mexico isn't quite as developed or internationally powerful as the US, there are some very distinct reasons to consider going all out and pursuing citizenship. After all, if you're going to be living here, why not maximize your benefits? One of the most significant advantages of doing so is the freedom to work. This allows citizens to find employment, freelance, or even start a business in Mexico without worrying about immigration restrictions. Maybe you grow tired of working remotely and want to try something new. If you're a citizen, you can enjoy all the same employment-related perks as a natural-born Mexican. Note that you are able to get a job as a permanent resident, but some employers prefer hiring Mexican citizens, so the citizenship will give you an added advantage. Of course, being a citizen can provide a profound sense of stability and security, as you won't be subject to visa regulations and policy changes that could affect your right to live in Mexico. Politics between the US and the Mexican government are often heated, and it can be hard to determine what might happen next. With actual citizenship, you don't need to worry about what changes come down the political pipeline. You can also avoid those annoying trips to the immigration office. Perhaps the biggest reason to consider citizenship is the fact that Mexican citizens enjoy easier access to mortgages and property. This includes the right to buy property in restricted zones without the need for a bank trust. In fact, citizens, even naturalized ones, often have to deal with a lot less bureaucracy, sparing them from certain headaches and prohibitions that can waste time, energy, and money. Now, before we get into the various ways you can achieve Mexican citizenship, I want to remind you that becoming a Mexican citizen doesn't necessarily mean abandoning your claim to the United States. In fact, Mexico often allows for dual citizenship, meaning Americans who meet the eligibility criteria can become Mexican dual citizens, benefiting from the best of both worlds. The problem with this is that it can sometimes be a logistical challenge, so I recommend seeking out a good immigration lawyer to make sure you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Now let's get back to discussing how you can get Mexican citizenship. Option 1. Citizenship by marriage. One option is marrying a Mexican person. This allows you to naturalize as a Mexican citizen after residing in the country for just 2 years. If you're living as a legal resident, the chances of dating, meeting someone, and falling in love are just as likely as in the US. The government will offer you a speed route to citizenship to ensure you aren't separated from your new Mexican wife or husband. The application process is similar to other naturalization processes, but requires proof of marriage and other supporting documents. Still, it's a good idea to note that marrying a Mexican doesn't automatically grant your spouse US citizenship. They'll typically need to apply for a green card. Initially, this may be issued on a conditional basis, which can later be converted to a full green card. Option 2, citizenship by ancestry. Now, if you have Mexican ancestry, you may be able to become a citizen much quicker. For example, children of Mexican citizens are eligible to apply for Mexican citizenship and aren't necessarily required to become permanent residents first. Mexican citizenship through parents can be especially useful for those born outside of Mexico, in a country where birthplace place automatically grants citizenship, like the US. Now, this process may require a certificate of Mexican nationality by birth for children, or a declaration of Mexican nationality by birth for adults. Documentation related to parents, such as birth and marriage or divorce certificates, is also often required. Want to go a bit deeper into your family tree? No problem. It's also possible to obtain Mexican citizenship based on the citizenship of your grandparents. Just know that proficiency in the Spanish language and knowledge of Mexican culture and history are generally prerequisites for these processes. Option 3. Citizenship through birth. If you or your Mexican partner give birth to a baby in Mexico, that baby will automatically be considered for Mexican citizenship. In some situations, this can lead to permanent residency for their parents and even their grandparents. Just know that this process has become highly controversial in recent years and may be the sort of thing you want to get a lawyer to help you through. Option 4. Citizenship through residency. Maintaining permanent and temporary residency in Mexico for at least 5 years is by far the most common route for Americans seeking Mexican citizenship, dual or otherwise. In this case, the process and required documents for obtaining citizenship through residency are similar to other naturalization routes. That said, keep in mind that any time spent in Mexico on a temporary student visa may not count toward continuous residency. The easiest way to get a temporary or permanent residency is to apply at a Mexican consulate in the United States. There will be various residency types available depending on your intentions in Mexico, such as retirement, study, or work. I have already made extensive detailed videos on how to apply for temporary residency, so be sure to check those out. In conclusion, becoming a Mexican citizen as an American offers numerous benefits and options to suit various circumstances. However, the path you choose should align with your goals and desires, taking into account factors such as marriage, Mexican descent, and whether or not you can meet the residency requirements. Either way, by moving to Mexico instead of somewhere further abroad, you can embrace all the country has to offer while preserving your connection with the United States. Subscribe for more, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified when I upload my next video.